Do you ever feel a lump in your throat when you try to speak English? Does your mind go blank when someone asks you a simple question? Or maybe you feel like you'll never be confident in English because every time you speak, you make mistakes. If you've felt this way, you're not alone. I've been there. Speaking English confidently can seem like a mountain too steep to climb. But what if I told you there's a way, an easy, step-by-step way, to transform your fear into confidence? By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to not just speak English, but to do it with confidence you never thought possible. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was sitting in a small classroom, nervously avoiding eye contact with my English teacher. She was asking questions, and every time her eyes scanned the room, my heart would race. I prayed she wouldn't call on me because I didn't want to embarrass myself. But then it happened. She said my name. My palms were sweaty, and my voice was shaky as I tried to answer her question. I stumbled over the words, mispronounced half of them, and felt like I wanted to disappear. But instead of laughing, my teacher smiled and said, "Good job. Mistakes mean you're trying." That moment changed everything for me because it taught me the first secret to speaking English confidently. It's okay to make mistakes. Embrace your mistakes. Most of us are afraid of making mistakes, but here's the truth. Mistakes are not failures. They're stepping stones. When you mispronounce a word or use the wrong grammar, it's not the end of the world. In fact, every mistake you make is teaching you something new. Think about when you learned to ride a bike. Did you fall the first time?
Probably.
But did you give up?
No.
You got back on and kept going. Learning English is no different. Here's something practical you can do today. Speak one sentence in English, even if you're not sure it's perfect. For example, you could say, "I like learning English," or "The weather is nice today." Don't worry about how it sounds. Just focus on saying it. Remember, confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from effort. The more you try, the better you'll get. Start small, but start. When I first started learning English, I made the mistake of trying to have long conversations right away. It was overwhelming, and it made me feel like I'd never get better. That's when I realized the importance of starting small. Instead of trying to learn everything at once, focus on mastering small, manageable phrases. For example, start with greetings like, "Hello, how are you?" or simple questions like, "Where is the nearest bus stop?" Here's an exercise for you. Write down 5 simple sentences that you can use in your daily life. Practice saying them aloud in front of a mirror. Once you're comfortable with those, add more. The key is to build a strong foundation one step at a time. Listen and repeat. Before you can speak English confidently, you need to listen. Listening is how you learn the correct pronunciation of words, the rhythm of sentences, and the tone of conversation. When I was learning English, I used to listen to songs and repeat the lyrics out loud. At first, it felt silly, but over time, I noticed that my pronunciation improved and I started feeling more natural when I spoke. Here's what you can do. Pick a song, podcast, or YouTube video in English. Listen to one sentence at a time, pause, and repeat it out loud. Focus on mimicking the speaker's tone and rhythm. This technique is called shadowing, and it's one of the most powerful tools for building fluency. Over time, you'll notice that you're not just repeating words, you're speaking with confidence. Think in English. One of the biggest challenges I faced when learning English was constantly translating everything from my native language. It made me slow, and I often got stuck because I couldn't think of the right words. Then I discovered the secret to thinking in English. It's not as hard as it sounds, and once you start, it changes everything. Here's how to practice. Start with small, everyday thoughts. For example, when you wake up, think, "I'm going to make coffee." When you're cooking, think, "I need to cut these vegetables." At first, it might feel strange, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Thinking in English helps you form sentences naturally, which is a key step to speaking confidently. Surround yourself with English. Imagine trying to learn how to swim without ever getting in the water. It's impossible, right? The same is true for English. If you want to speak confidently, you need to surround yourself with the language. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, read books, immerse yourself as much as possible. When I was learning, I loved watching cartoons because they used simple language and clear pronunciation. My favorite was a show about a dog who went on funny adventures. It made learning fun and easy. Here's a tip. Change the language settings on your phone or social media apps to English. It's a small change, but it forces you to interact with the language every day. You can also join online communities where English is spoken. The more you expose yourself to English, the more natural it will feel. Practice with a partner. Speaking English on your own is great, but nothing builds confidence like practicing with someone else. Find a friend, family member, or even an online language partner who can practice with you. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on communicating. When I found a speaking partner, it completely transformed my learning. We started with simple conversations, like talking about our favorite foods or movies, and gradually moved on to more complex topics. If you don't know anyone who speaks English, try apps like HelloTalk or Tandem. These platforms connect you with people around the world who want to practice English. You'll not only improve your speaking skills, but also make new friends. Set achievable goals. Confidence doesn't happen overnight. It's built step by step. And one of the best ways to build it is by setting small, achievable goals. When I was learning English, I used to overwhelm myself with unrealistic expectations. I'd think, I need to become fluent in 6 months. But all that did was stress me out. Then I learned to focus on smaller, daily goals. Here's how you can start. Make a list of 3 small goals for the week. For example, 1. Learn 5 new words and use them in sentences. 2. Speak English for 5 minutes every day. 3. Write a short paragraph about your day in English. Each time you achieve one of these goals, celebrate your progress. Remember, confidence grows when you see yourself improving, even if it's just a little at a time. Success isn't about giant leaps. It's about consistent steps forward. Record yourself speaking. Have you ever heard yourself speak English? If not, you might be surprised by how much you can learn just by listening to your own voice. Recording yourself is one of the most powerful ways to improve. When I first started doing this, I hated hearing my mistakes, but over time, I noticed how much I was improving. It gave me the confidence to keep going. Here's an exercise. Choose a short text, like a paragraph from a book or a news article. Read it out loud while recording yourself. Then listen to the recording and take notes on what you can improve. Do this once a week and compare your recordings over time. You'll be amazed at how much progress you make. Don't compare yourself to others. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is comparing yourself to people who are already fluent in English. I used to do this all the time. I'd watch someone speak effortlessly and think, I'll never be that good. But here's what I realized. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Their journey is not your journey. Focus on your progress, not someone else's. The next time you feel discouraged, remind yourself of how far you've come. Maybe a year ago, you didn't know how to introduce yourself in English, and now you can hold a basic conversation. Celebrate those victories. Confidence isn't about being the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Learn to laugh at yourself. When I was learning English, I once told someone, I'm boring, instead of I'm bored. They laughed, and so did I. It was embarrassing at first, but instead of feeling defeated, I used it as a learning experience. Mistakes like this are part of the journey, and the sooner you learn to laugh at yourself, the more enjoyable the process becomes. The next time you make a mistake, don't be too hard on yourself. Laugh, learn, and move on. Remember, even native speakers mess up sometimes. Surround yourself with positive influences. The people around you can have a huge impact on your confidence. If you're surrounded by negativity, people who criticize you or make fun of your mistakes, it's harder to stay motivated. Instead, seek out positive influences. Surround yourself with friends, teachers, or online communities that encourage and support you. When I joined an online English learning group, I found people who celebrated my progress and gave me constructive feedback. It made all the difference. If you can't find supportive people in your immediate environment, look online. There are countless forums and groups where learners share their journeys and motivate each other. Use technology to your advantage. We live in an age where technology can make learning English easier than ever. From language apps to YouTube tutorials, there's no shortage of resources. When I was learning, I used an app that sent me daily vocabulary challenges. It was a simple way to stay consistent, and it didn't feel overwhelming. Here are some tools you can use. 1. Apps like Duolingo or Memrise. These help you learn new words and phrases in a fun, interactive way. 2. Speech recognition tools. Many apps let you practice speaking and give you feedback on your pronunciation. 3. AI chatbots. Tools like ChatGPT can help you practice writing and conversation skills. The more you engage with these tools, the more confident you'll become. Create your English routine. Confidence comes from consistency, and the best way to stay consistent is by creating a routine. Think of English as a part of your daily life, not just something you study. For example, 1. Spend 15 minutes every morning listening to a podcast. 2. Write 3 sentences about your day every evening. 3. Watch a short video in English during lunch. Your routine doesn't have to be complicated. The key is to make it regular. The more you immerse yourself in English, the more natural it will feel. Focus on communication, not perfection. Here's a secret. Even the most fluent speakers make mistakes. What sets them apart is that they focus on communicating their ideas, not on being perfect. I used to freeze up when I couldn't think of the right word. But then I realized that the goal of language isn't perfection, it's connection. If someone understands what you're saying, that's what matters. The next time you speak English, don't stress about grammar or vocabulary. Focus on getting your message across. The more you practice, the more natural your speech will become. Reward yourself. Learning English is hard work, and you deserve to celebrate your achievements. When I reached my first milestone, having a 5-minute conversation in English, I treated myself to my favorite dessert. Rewards keep you motivated and give you something to look forward to. Set a goal for yourself this week, and when you achieve it, reward yourself. It doesn't have to be big, maybe a piece of chocolate or a movie night. What matters is recognizing your progress. Visualize your success. Visualization is a powerful tool. Close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking English confidently. Picture yourself having a fluent conversation, giving a presentation, or traveling abroad and communicating with ease. This mental practice boosts your confidence and motivates you to keep going. Try this. Every morning, spend 2 minutes visualizing your success. It might sound simple, but it works. When you can see yourself achieving your goal, it becomes easier to believe it's possible. Be patient with yourself. Finally, remember that learning English is a journey, not a race. There will be days when it feels hard, and that's okay. The key is to keep going, even when progress feels slow. Confidence isn't built overnight. It's the result of consistent effort. If you ever feel discouraged, look back at how far you've come. Maybe you're not fluent yet, but you've made progress, and that's something to be proud of. Speaking English confidently isn't about being perfect. It's about trying, practicing, and believing in yourself. Remember, every time you speak, you're one step closer to fluency. Start small, celebrate your progress, and never stop learning. Confidence is within your reach. You just have to take the first step. If this video inspired you, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more tips. Share this video with a friend who's also learning English and let us know in the comments, what's the biggest challenge you face when speaking English? Let's overcome it together.